Gotcha.
Attack left lane.
That happens to me and I work there.
No.
Just please, God, I just work here, man.
Attack the Gold Fury.
And I fed my brains out.
There's the Dan I know.
Group up.
Oh, baby, a triple. And all I got was this t-shirt.
Oh, you're fuzzy wuzzy. Let's not hurt them too bad. Let's make them scream!
Attack left lane. Everybody goes right except for Dan, who dies alone. He's scared.
It's exactly how I feel when I ask my jungler to do anything.
Split push.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to episode 27 of Split Push.
Guys, I'm not
It's a
gonna lie, I
Smite
forgot to
podcast.
clap.
Oh.
You're the worst
Way to go,
human
Dan.
to human.
Well, anyway, along with me tonight is obviously Dirtnap Dan.
Hey, what's happening, everybody?
And you already heard Yuki, too.
Nope.
And then there's Beagle Girl,
What's up?
Guy,
What's up, everybody?
and the wielder of the almighty hammer. It is the one, the only, Skillshot Auvey.
Hello, hello.
Well, how you doing today, huh?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Excited to have you on, man. You know, it's getting to be an exciting time in the pro season, is it not?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to be here. We're ramping up to HRX. All the prep work is going on right now. It is absolutely insane.
Go this year.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
The move
the
killed
date
me.
change pretty much put the nails in the coffin for most of us with that, but
Yeah, it was so crazy. Like, some people were like, I'm never going to be able to go again if you keep doing this. You know, this is in the middle of whatever. But then a lot of other people who normally weren't able to go in January are like, oh my God, I can finally go. This is amazing.
Yeah.
you're always going to win some, lose some with
Oh,
it.
yeah. Yeah.
It was only this year. It'll be good after
As
that.
long as it's the same time next year, I'll be good at it.
Yeah.
Next
was
year it's
just-
going to be in January.
Oh, I hope not.
When was it
month later.
announced this year? You know, it was just kind of like short timing and like, you know, was planning on January and then it's like, oh, you just lost how many months? Oh, and it's
Oh,
at
yeah.
Thanksgiving this year? Like, I kind of, you know, most of us already have Thanksgiving kind of fleshed out already for the year.
And like, we felt that too. Like, even in the preparation process, we're now like, oh my God, we have so much less time to put this together because like that extra 2 months makes a huge difference when you're trying to plan something of that scale. So even
Yeah.
we are like internally like, oh my God, why would we do this in November?
Yep, well, you know, sometimes you just got to rip that Band-Aid off, though. So,
Oh yeah, I'm excited to have it at DreamHack personally.
yeah, I think, who was it? Was it F. Dot? I think when we had him on, he's like, hey, look, it's like we're at the big kids table now, you know? We're not at, you know, the little kids table, you know, at Thanksgiving. We're at the big people table.
No more rainbow chairs and tiny tables. Although I kind of would like the rainbow chairs just for...
I eat on a tiny table all the time. It's next to my computer.
I use a
Well,
stool.
anyway, we're kind of getting away from Avi here, so why don't you kind of tell the world a little bit about who you are and your connections with Smite and what you do for it?
Yes, absolutely. So I am currently the community manager for Smite Esports. So I do all of our dealings with the SPL, all of our other leagues, our organizations, our players, our broadcasts, and most importantly, I meme on the Smite Pro Twitter. So whenever you see Smite Pro post something really dumb, like I have a lot of times this week, it's me. It's all me. But before I was doing this, I was a games journalist. That's how I first got into the industry. And
That's cool.
during my tenure as a games journalist, I started out, you know, on like the indie, the RPG beats, you know, doing that good stuff. And eventually I got kind of burned out on that and started looking for a different corner of the industry. And a friend of mine, you know, I was really into MMOs. That's really all I played. And a friend of mine introduced me to Smite. I got really, really into it. Went to my first world championship a year later. The year after that, I went as a journalist again. I started covering Smite Esports pretty heavily. I was actually, this isn't like a bragging thing. I feel weird even mentioning it, but, I was actually the first person to break the story that the Allied had passed away. And that was shortly before I left the industry. But that was the kind of stuff I was doing. And Smite was the only thing that I like really, it was the only scene I really followed and really remained invested in because being a games journalist will, rob you of a lot of your love for the gaming industry for sure. So, Smite was the only thing I was still excited about, and when I decided that I wanted to leave the industry, I was like, maybe I should work in esports. I'm going to see if I can find something in esports. And so it was kind of like perfect timing, given the randomness of when I decided to quit my job. But I found a job opening as a tournament admin for the High Res Studios esports department. And I did that for 6 months, worked another HRX as an admin, and then a couple of months later, became the community manager and started doing this. And it's been a ride.
That's high five. To me, getting, a game or a job in the game industry when you're a gamer is just like, the dream per se.
Oh, yeah.
I still work, I'm your local farmer's agent, bump, but, I at least get to do this podcast. It's not a job, but, it feels like a part-time job at times with the amount of effort and work that goes into it.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's more like a hobby for me because I just love it. It's so much fun. I mean, I've learned so much about editing and computers and networking and all that fun stuff. And it's just been a blast. So I'm loving it.
Yeah. Anytime you get to do more with gaming than just play the game, I love it.
Well, I've always been a bit of a nerd with that. I mean, from tracking stats, playing football games, and, all kinds of weird different things. I always kind of took games to the next level. My wife always makes fun of me. I still have notebooks from like Madden 05 where, here's my 3 seasons I played through as the Redskins. And
oh my goodness. I mean, I can't say anything. I've got like literal stacks of notebooks where I've been planning out Stardew Valley farms, so.
Oh, jeez.
There you go.
Yeah, heck, I mean, even me and a good friend started our own board game company. And, I've done play test of this massive war game that we have. And it literally, like a 3-inch ring binder is 1 game of notes. And
oh my God.
Like, my wife's like, you're crazy. I'm like, I love it.
That's not a notebook. That's a tome. That's what that is.
Yeah.
But, you got to make sure that shit's right, so people enjoy the game when you produce it. So.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's talk about some games that have been going on this week. And I'm going to throw it over to Yuki first. I'm sure he's probably going to want to talk about a certain arena game at some point or another. But,
We're starting with the arena game.
I thought you might like to.
Oh, goodness. Haven't been playing a lot this week. Still working those late hours. Still coming home and kind of just drooling on my keyboard, watching shiny lights happen and not much else. But sitting there, we're like, yeah, we should totally just play arena. Try to get these 3 first ones of the day. So arena, short timer, hop in the arena. All right, this is going in a good direction. I like what I'm seeing here. And it was just the entire time was us cackling, going, what is this game? I know we see it a lot on our end as far as, I'll get a little game here in a little second, but I know we see it a lot on our end as far as like when you're in a large group, matchmaking gets really weird. And these kids were us the way we feel most of the time. They were trying their hearts out. You had an Ares chasing a Kukulkan around the map, trying to kill him.
He couldn't catch me.
It was just run at him and laugh. I'm trying to actually pull up the game. It's doing weird things.
Don't you love when
I
stuff
can go
does
over the
weird
rosters
things?
for you
Oh,
real
there
quick.
it goes. It updated.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I was playing Chalk because I'm like, I'm going to play Chalk. I'm going to throw axes on people. And a guy here normally doesn't play Assassins, but he goes dodgy. And I knowingly, Guy, I'll let you know something. I knowingly went, oh, he's going to kill him. Throw axe, walk away. Steal the kill. It was so much fun.
My whole repertoire of assassins right there, Dodgy.
Yeah. I mean, it was just rush breastplate because this is going to be funny. I ended up with, what is it, medallion, or talisman of energy and shield of regrowth. So just speeding around the map at 100 miles an hour, chasing down Thor. He'd teleport away, and you just walk him back down and kill him. Throwing axes, getting him in the doorway to the base. It was just went 9-0. It was just a crazy game. These poor guys, they were trying.
We had that. We had one random with us who was Kabrakan.
Yeah,
and we looked at the enemy team, which was Ares, Thor, Medusa, Kukulane, and who was the other one? Because it's not showing the god.
Pele.
Pele.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, on paper, their team looked pretty solid. And we kind of looked a little helter-skeltered. And it starts off the very first push. When I'm playing Kukulkan in Arena, I go get blue buff. I immediately go out to the center and clear that first wave immediately. I'm hitting them with basics before they group up. I get my whirlwind down as soon as they do. I throw my 1 in there, and then I turn and immediately go for that second wave coming in. And this time the enemy team cleared slow. So I had that cleared. My whole team's like, oh, we're fighting up here. Okay. We actually got our entire first wave in the portal.
Very nice.
That just doesn't happen. I don't know what happened with them clearing the buffs. I don't know, but it was funny. And then we got 3 siege minions in. At one point, there's 2 of them. They're like, we're going to body block the siege minion. I'm like, no, I'm just going to blink in here and ult with shock and convince you to walk away.
Yeah. I got the first 2 kills of the game were a double kill with a Cuckoo ult. My kills 3 through 6 was they were trying to run back to their fountain and Kabrakan ulted and trapped 3 of them in it. I was right behind them. I'm like, oh, hit triangle. There's a triple kill. It was wrong. And then the end of the game, the Ares, as Yuki said, was just, he didn't care. He was just going to kill me. And he was just running at me. And I'm just getting away again and again. And as the game's coming to an end, he's running at me and I'm real low health. I'm like, but I'm away. I turn around, I ult him, knock him up in the air. The Kabrakan kills him. And then I waddled away.
Yeah. I mean, we followed up. We tried to get another first win in Assault. Oh, Assault does not like us. We used to play almost exclusively Assault. And now it's like we can't get a team. You can't get a team. It's just, we lost. It was pretty bad. I had Hoombots on one of them. I tried my best, but...
You were lagging pretty hard that match, though.
I was lagging really hard with Hoombots.
We ended up with 2 warriors and 3 assassins. It was the worst game ever.
Yeah,
we just
that
got
game was
stomped.
Yeah.
Dude,
I can't imagine how that could go wrong.
We went from 3 warriors and 2 assassins, re-rolled them all into 3 assassins and 2 warriors.
Yeah.
And
Rerolls didn't favor us.
Yeah. And to round out the night, trying to get that last first win, me, Dan, and Guy go into a joust. We're going to do this. They ended up surrendering at 10, not because we were kicking their ass. None of us, I think, came up with a legitimate reason for them to surrender. But Guy was on Op Watch, Dan had Hui, and I was playing Ganesh against Kabrakan, Chiron, and Op Watch. So the teams were fairly balanced. One wasn't super, super ridiculous for a joust map. But the Kabrakan would just run at people, and I was doing my best to get in front of them. I don't know. I genuinely don't know why they quit. I don't think they had lost at any point in that game.
No, and it was like directly at 10 minutes, and it was like, I don't know, maybe they were salting out on each other on VGS or something, but I don't know why they quit. It was literally like 4 kills to 5 kills or something.
Oh, and now that I look back on it, it's the Kabrakan was Rocket Power. We've played against him a bunch because I always comment about his name and how great the TV show is.
Yeah.
Yeah, once I got good at reading what that Kabrakan was doing, it was dashing it when he hit his 1, dash into it, knock him up, followed up with the silence so he can't chase down people. But it's just, I don't know why they surrendered, but we won, so I'll take it.
I didn't get a 3rd win at all this week so far.
I didn't get any wins this week, so
Oof.
I got to play 1 game this week. 1 game.
Ouch.
And it did not go well. Oh, it was so
didn't go
bad.
well. Well, tell us about it.
So I was, a friend of mine is one of our streamers on the Smite Game Mixer channel. And I was like, hey, I'll pop on, do a game, before your stream slot ends. And so a couple of other people who stream for us, Finch, Jiffins, one of my mods, we all hopped in. We were like, we'll just do a 4-man arena real quick. It'll be whatever. And as I want to do when I play arena, I picked Kukulkan because I just want them to watch me win and then watch me snake. But I don't think I hit my 1 the entire game. Like, I used it a lot, but I don't think I ever hit it. I did not hit an ult. This was the first time I had played Smite in, oh god, it's been almost 3 months. It's shameful how long it's been. And I don't know. It was one of those bad days. I was very rusty. And I don't think I hit an auto. I definitely didn't hit an ult or my one, and I fed my brains out.
I feel like that after like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smite definitely will punish you with skill decay if you take breaks.
Yeah.
There's no doubts about that.
And I feel so bad too, because I'm like, it's literally my job to know this stuff inside and out. But then I'm like, I spend so much time in broadcast and trying to do like the actual esports things that I can't focus on the actual ins and outs of the game. I miss it.
So since you're a fan of the worm, Polynomicon on Cuckoo, yay or nay?
I'll build it sometimes. I don't mind it.
The follow-up, because you animation cancel the Cuckoo's one with when you auto attack. You can animation cancel it, so they'll hit it almost the same time. So if you hit the one, you're guaranteed to hit the Polynomicon auto afterwards.
That's a 2-for-1 deal, and I like deals.
It's a lot of damage.
You know,
it's
that's what I like to do. I do like a lot of damage. Like, that's my whole play style. I'm either going to go really, really, really safe, really tanky, like true support, or glass cannon 100%. There's no in between.
Yeah, I kind of have that problem.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'm too tanky, and it's just like, I can't do any damage, or I do too much damage and not enough tank. But when I find that sweet spot, I know how to roll with it, that's for sure. How about you, Dan? How have your games been this week?
My games have been fairly interesting. They've either been very hit or very miss. Such miss, much wow. The first one I want to talk about was a game where I played Odin. We always have this issue with warriors where if we build the offense first, we feed our brains out and die. But if an enemy warrior builds offense first, they destroy us and everything we've ever hoped for and dreamed about. But this game was different. I ended the game 29, 6, and 19. And I went in order. I went Attacker's Blessing, Jotun's Wrath, Warrior Tabi, Void Shield, Mantle of Discord, Soul Eater, and then sold the Blessing for Spirit Robe. And they had an entire team of people that could not get out of my cage except for Kukulane. And I just waited for him to jump and then put the cage down. Because then even if he raged out, he didn't get a second jump. He was stuck. And yeah, you could say I capitalized on a lot. I think I was 10-0 within like the first 8 minutes of the game. And so you could say I was a little ahead. And yeah, it was really fun. It was really fun. And Soul Eater was hilarious. I would get down to like no hit points, and then I would just shield up and bird bomb back in on 3 people and have half my health bar back. And I was like, all right, good to go. Let's go. Cool. Keep going. That was a really good game. We had a Pele that built way too tanky and not enough damage, so it lasted a long time, but that was fine with me. Because, yeah, 29 kills. That's a fun game. Definitely fun. Today, I logged on and was like, oh god, I gotta try and get these first wins. Nobody's home, so I gotta do it by my damn self. So I jumped in a clash, played Rom, went 6-0-10. That was a really fun game. I had a really, really good team. They all played really well. We had a Pele, Bacchus, Sun Wukong, Chunga, and me as Rom. They even had a Loki on the enemy team, and I didn't die. I just want to point that out again. There was a Loki on the enemy team, and I didn't die as a hunter. I felt so good. I hit
I've heard stories about that happening, but I've never seen it in real life.
Yeah, I mean, I should put it on YouTube, and like it should get 1 million hits, because that's just not a thing. I hit like almost all my ROM ults. I even hit Loki 3 times while he was invisible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was on
Look
point.
at you.
I was on. I don't know what happened, but I decided that today I was going to play my heart out.
Turn that aimbot on.
Yeah, basically. But we won't talk about that part in front of the community manager. Come on.
Listen, I have GM. I have all the hacks. It's fine.
And then I was like, all right, we won that clash and it went well. So I hopped into an arena for the shortest queue and I played Neath, and Yuri had hopped in with me. And that was really fun. I went 15, 3, and 9. And there was this poor Al Kwong and Serket, both of them on the enemy team. They focused me so hard, and I only ended up dying 3 times. I bought Trans, Heartseeker into Crusher Jotun's Hydras, and yeah, you could say they weren't very happy with me. My ults were hitting for like 900 damage with Crusher Ticks, and then they just couldn't figure out a way to get to me, and anytime they did, I just backflipped. And my backflip did like half their health because of Heartseeker, so I was like, yeah, this is working. This is pretty fun. I was hitting all my basics. I was like, man, what's going on with me today? And then I played a Joust and went 0-5 as Hercules, and I was like, there's the Dan I know. There's the Dan I know.
There it is.
There it is.
Nearly unkillable god.
Yeah.
0-6.
Yeah, it
Man,
was not.
speaking of being focused, like, the arena game that I played that was just horrible, like, part of the reason it was horrible was because I forgot when I logged on that I still have high-res in my name. I've been meaning to change this for, like, a while, but I just haven't gotten around to it because I haven't played. And, because, like, when I first started working at high-res, y'all, I was so excited. I was so happy to be here. I, like, changed my in-game name, I changed my Discord, I changed everything. And then I got like 2 games in with high-res Auvey in my name, and I was like, this sucks, man. Everyone hates me.
Everybody's hating on me. Stop killing me.
Just please, God, I just work here, man.
Yeah, I just work here. No, don't do it.
I'm sorry, we won't make any more Neath skins.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Yeah, I had a lot of fun games. I had another good game as Hu Yi in a Joust, and that was definitely a fun one. I love Hu Yi on Joust because I know like all the best triple bounce spots, and man, when they step in it, do they get punished. I don't let
me ask
anybody out.
Did you kill another Ymir in his ult this week?
No. This time, although I did have one game where I was getting my booty hole stomped, and I was Hu Yi, but it was against a Fenrir. I'm sure everybody remembers that game. Everybody involved. But the one time he jumped on me without stun, he jumped on me in that little tiny area between Phoenix and base, and I insta-killed him with a triple, and I was like, oh baby, a triple! It felt so good. I was like, I hate you, Fenrir. Stop eating me.
I thought we agreed to not talk about that game.
I just mentioned it real quick, like. And then I think there was one more that I really wanted to talk about. Oh, it was definitely the arena. I can't forget to put my input on in the arena. So we're starting up the game, and it's Kukulkan, Chalk, Kabrakan, and Dodgy. And I just pick Vulcan. And Yuki's like, really, Dan, you're going to pick a Vulcan here? And I'm like, trust me, I got this. 7-1 and 29 assists later. I was the best Vulcan ever. What are you talking about? That game was insane. It was 12 minutes long. We won by points in 12 minutes. That's insane.
Yeah. You know what the final score of that game was? 279-0.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We didn't treat them with any respect. We did not fold their towels. We did not leave little chocolates. We were mean.
I stole a bathrobe.
See? I took a bottle of shampoo, not gonna lie. For that Vulcan beard. Needs that shiny sheen.
Gotta have it.
And, it was so much fun, dude. Every time they tried to go on anybody, I'd just meatball them off. And that time Yuki chalk ulted them against their fountain when they were trying to body block the minion. They were just silent, standing in front of the minion, and I went, oh, meatball. They both went flying in different directions, and the siege went in, and I'm like, yeah, that's satisfying.
I think we all saved Guy. A couple of times. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you saved me that one time. I mean, it was... I didn't just squirrel away from that areas on my own. There was definitely some team help involved with that.
Oh, man, and I hit so many ults in that game, too. That poor Hera. She was just absorbing them. She was like, hit me with it. Do it again.
That's who it was. It was Hera. It wasn't Paige.
Yeah. It was Hera. You're right. I am right. I kind of just randomly remembered that because I remember seeing her go,
she'd even been released.
Is that another Vulcan ult? Well, I'll hit my 3 and at least not die. Yeah, that was
I think one of my favorite moments aside from the multi-kills with my ults was 3 of them was coming out of Fountain and I hit them all for like 900 damage and they all just went back in.
They're like,
yeah, you stay in there.
I thought I was going to leave my Fountain, but you know what? I changed my mind. I'll be right back. All right.
And they come out the other side and peek.
That's about all my games for the week that I have to talk about. Guy, how are your games? I'm sure you have many riveting stories with intense, immaculate detail.
You know it. You always know it.
I played some Smite. I played some
Smite, did some stuff,
Played some mid lane,
We had a arena game earlier in the week. It was me, Dan, Yuri, and Vio. And we had a random with us. And we made these guys surrendered in 10 minutes, but the final score was 29-0. I mean, it was a rough one. I had Dodgy that game also. I think I was 9-0. Yeah, it was one of them. Arena's so weird. I think it has a hard time matching you up. The proper groups, proper level groups. So I either stomp them down or get stomped.
Yeah, you're either popping off or getting spanked in Arena. There's no in between.
Is that the one where I built Achilles with, like, Transcendence and all kinds of crazy dumb shit?
Yeah, I told you to go shirtless. Take your shirt off and build like a assassin.
Yeah, I see it. Transcendence, Crusher, Glad Shield. Yeah, I was being mean. I'm sorry for anybody that was on the enemy team. I really did feel bad. Not really at all.
Yeah, that was a rough one for them. But, other than that, really, that's about it. I didn't really play a lot. We just recorded like 4 days ago, so I really haven't had a lot of time to play anyways. So, like I said, that's about it. What about old Beagle there?
Alright. I do have a couple good games. One was 2 days ago. It was me, Dan, and Dicey in a joust, and we decided to go double hunter, me and Dan. I was Neath, and Dan was Huyi, and Dicey was Khepri. And I went 7-0 and 10 that game. That game was only 12 minutes. They had Medusa, Geb, and I think a Hera, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, we can't see it.
Yeah. And all I had was Transcendence, Boots, Heartseeker, and Jotuns. So, I didn't have too much, but I still went 7-0 and 10, and it was just hilarious because I kept stealing kills with my ult. Every time I'd run away because I'm low health. Oh, Dan's about to kill someone. Sniped.
Mm-hmm.
We've been playing a lot of jousts like that. Just double hunter and Dicey playing Kabrakan. And I played a Siege the other day, and for once, for the first time in ever, I won. We won.
That's because we'll never get to play Siege.
Was Rom and Kabrakan. And I was chalked with a random Aphrodite, and let's just say, she was actually good. We did great. And even though I was not trying to build damage, I went 3-0 and 8, and we won. And then my last game was actually a game we played earlier. I was Scylla in a clash, and I was just doing so horrible. I just couldn't hit anyone. I was just having a really bad game. And the Neath on our team, when we killed the Kumba, he went into his passive, and we were both shooting at her, and then she stopped to let me take the kill, and I said thanks and walked away.
And then she was.
That was the only kill I got the entire game, but I had 14 assists. But it was a very easy win, 16 minutes long, so still fun. But that's about it. That's all I got.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Dan was playing that Odin. I was playing support.
Poseidon.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan.
Yep.
Support Poseidon. Because I was like, all right, got him. And Dan kills him. All right. Got himself set up, and Dan kills him.
Oh, yeah.
They're in my whirlpool.
Dan was stealing everybody's kills that game.
Hey,
Dude,
just because I'm a god doesn't mean it's a stole kill. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I literally
These were
trapped the
definitely
Athena. I literally trapped the enemy Athena between her tower and the wall in my whirlpool, she had like no health. And I'm like, finally, I'm going to get a... Nope, someone came over and bopped her. I'm like, really? Like,
Feels
why
bad,
did you
man.
Even waste your time?
It was me.
Like,
it was me.
Well, yeah, every time I got close to
yeah.
killing someone, I knew Dan was going to come over and kill. I just expected it. After a while, I'm like, oh, he's low. He's about to die. My last tick's going to hit him. No, here comes Dan.
Hey, sometimes you just got to style on them, you know? Get almost 30 kills in a game.
But I just had a quick few things here I want to throw out for my games of the week. So one, we Guy mentioned it. We got to play with a longtime whammy and a longtime member of our Discord, the king of the little guys himself, because Dan never held up to his end of the bargain.
He was too furious, too strong.
Yes, he definitely was. You might have caught him in one of our early little community section interviews, which might be making a comeback here soon. But we got to play a couple games with him. So once was... we were playing in Arena. He was Uller and I was Artemis. And I was just... It was one of those games where I was popping off. I mean, it was just like, yeah, sometimes your aim's on and sometimes not. When you're my skill, it's just either you're on or you're not, like Dan said. And it was one of those games where I was on. I think it was this game had an enemy Chablanque in it, and he did his dash, and I did not miss a shot throughout the entirety of his dash as I'm spinning around and trying to follow him with it. I say trying, but I did, and got the kill, and it was just like, yeah, buddy, keep dreaming. And then we played a conquest, and again Vio went in as Uller, and I went in as his support Kumba, and we were just messing. No.
I was Uller that game.
He wasn't Uller. Yeah, Dan was Uller, and Vio went in as a carry Mercury, and oh my god, we were just beating the snot out of him in our lane. It was so funny. I'm like, I've never seen this before, but I'm willing to go with it. I'm an aggressive Kumba. He's an aggressive, carry, right? Sure, let's do it. And we did it. And it was just, again, we had some great games with him. It was great to finally play with him in that aspect. The other game I wanted to bring up was, it was another arena that we were playing where I was in as Ares. And they all had, like, cooldown, CC immune alts. They almost all had beads. And I'm just like, well, I'm going to go full cooldown here and just ult the hell out of them. And there was this one time I went over as they had fled into their base. And I'm like, I wonder how many are right inside the wall here. And I ulted. And I should have went back and checked the footage. But I think I pulled 3 or 4 out.
Pretty
and
sure
we
it
just
was 3.
killed them all.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was just funny.
It was a beautiful time because I dropped my whole kit as Opwash on them as they got pulled out too. And somebody else hit them with their ult. They were just instantly dead, all of them.
Yeah, it was just funny because I've been, I'm just dropping alts left and right, and because typically you get one because between all of them having a CC immune alt and beads, you're not getting them too often, But just happened to get a handful there, and that was just great. The other thing I learned is I did qualify for duels finally. I started off strong. I finished weak. I also learned, though, Anubis is a first ban. Yeah, I'm done fighting Anubises. Yeah. And Warriors just kick my ass. I'm like, you know what? I've been trying to play Izzy and focus on it, but, Warrior just has to hit me with one ability, and I'm like, oh, I'm dead. Okay, that's nice. I've been hitting them for the last 30 seconds and killing them. Slowly but surely, and then they just look at me and I'm dead. Like, okay, I need to move on and find somebody else to play in duel. So maybe if I continue down that road, I will research that a little bit more. But
where'd you qualify at?
Good old Bronze 1.
Bronze 1.
It's the only second time I've ever qualified for duel, and it is probably about roughly I don't know, and maybe I've played about 20 to 25 games in my career of it, so I don't feel bad about finishing up there. I had some good games and some close losses, too.
I think I've played 3 games of duel my entire 3 years of Smite.
Anyway, that's going to wrap up our games of the week here, and I am going to toss things over to Auvey here. She's got some some stuff she wants to tell you all about with the SPL stuff coming up here.
Yes, indeed. It is the most exciting time of the Smite esports season. Busy time for us. You guys just get to enjoy, all the good stuff. So next Saturday, actually, we have the SCL placement land coming up. We have 2 Xbox teams that have already qualified directly to the Smite Console Wars at HRX, but the 2 spots left, there are 4 teams that have to fight for them. So we are bringing our 2 Xbox teams and 2 PS4 teams. I should know their names off the top of my head, but I don't, and I didn't take good notes. But we'll have 2 Xbox teams, 2 PS4 teams there, and they are going to do some cross-platform play at the console wars at DreamHack. But we will only be sending 2 teams out of the placement round, 1 Xbox, 1 PS4, to meet those other 2 Xbox teams at HRX. And then after that, we have the placement round, the HRX placement round. That's happening November 5th through November 10th. It's a lot like Super Regionals was last year, sort of, kind of. But it's a much bigger event. We will have 14 teams in total. We have the bottom 4 SPL teams for each region, the top 1 SGS team for each region, and then the top 1 SML team for each region as well. They're all coming to the Skillshot Media Studios here in Atlanta. And they will be playing 5 days of a double elimination bracket to see who will get the last 4 spots in the main bracket at DreamHack. And then, of course, it all culminates November 16th through the 18th. DreamHack Atlanta, Smite World Championships, Smite Console World Championships. It's going to be insane. We're really excited.
I have the days requested off.
Oh,
do you know if you guys are having like the Coca-Cola watch parties like you've done in the past years?
So from what I've heard, we're not doing anything Coke specific, but we are setting up several viewing parties across the U.S.
Okay.
All right. I'm excited. I'll admit I don't watch a lot of the SPL during the regular season as much, but I do enjoy, the big events. That's a lot of fun. It's a great place to learn. I'll give it that too. I mean, these guys are really good and they're really worth your time. If you want to get better at this game, give them a watch because you can learn a lot from them.
But don't try and do everything they do.
Oh no! Oh no!
Please, don't do it in my games.
When I was an admin, being a tournament admin, you're usually sitting on the stage or in our player booths, directly behind a player. So you always get to watch them sort of firsthand and see what they do as they do it. And I would always just pick a player on a team, sit behind them, and then just watch, just in total awe. Because the game that they're playing is not the game that I'm playing.
It is not.
100%.
It's just not. I used to sit behind Baskin when he was still on SSG. I used to just sit behind him and just watch and just be honestly astounded.
Yeah, the stuff they do in that, I will always remember this one specific play that I saw, because it was one of the few I did actually watch live. And it was when, I don't remember who it was or the teams or anything, but a Terra purposefully blocked an entire Merkle with her pillar. And I was just like,
that was Jeff Hindla.
Oh my god. Yeah, Jeff Hindla. I was like,
that was Jeff Hindla.
God
bless that man.
When am I going to get to that
we're lucky if we get the pillar to come up on the map.
Dude. Jeff is insane. The greatest honor of my Smite career was just, I got my ass beat, but I got to play in a game against Jeff Hindla. And that's the highlight. That's it. That's as good as it gets for me.
He killed me. Yay!
It's I died. I fed my brains out. But Jeff Hindla, he was there.
Get a t-shirt that says, I fed my brains out to Jeff Hindla.
And all I got was this t-shirt.
Yeah, all I got was this t-shirt.
There you go. Coming to a retail shop near no one.
So you said they're going to be doing some cross-platform playing in the Console Wars?
Yes, yes, we are.
Foreshadowing to
It's
something
very
coming here?
exciting. I can't talk about any of our 2019 stuff, but it's so exciting. I'm so ready. We're going to make all of our big esports announcements during DreamHack as we always do. But yes, for the first time ever, we are going to have crossplay for our console players. And I'm really excited
That's really
like,
awesome.
you know, the PS4 League is kind of new. I think it's going to take them some time to get their feet under them and like really find their like true talent and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't picked me up yet.
Man, I wouldn't pick you up for a McDonald's date, Dan.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Aw, feels bad, man. But our Xbox players, you know, they're always like, we're the better console. You know, we just are superior. And I would love to see a PS4 team kind of kick them just a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Spike them just a little bit.
Represent.
This was their first year with, I mean, I guess almost the first 6 months of a PS4 Pro scene, right?
Yeah, we started back in June, so yeah, it hasn't even been half a year. They're wee little babies on the Smite scene.
We'll see what happens next year when the teams get their shit together.
Oh yeah. We're all still waiting for them to do that, but yeah.
Nice. All right, so we're also going to talk this week about a Necessary Darkness, which is update here, 5.2. Yeah, 5.20. There we go. I can talk.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't start that again. That was a whole episode.
That was a whole episode of nobody could say a word correctly.
Dude, we were so bad that episode.
That was
Let's not go
bad.
there. So anyway, Yuki, you want to lead us off here into ye old patch notes?
Yeah, so this is 520, as you mentioned, Necessary Darkness. It should be Necessary Evil, because, I mean, half the skins are nice, dark, scary skins. They did a really good job here. The art team, even for their 7,000th Neath skin, still really good. So I'm still gonna buy it. But we're gonna start off Artio, Fiend Hunter Artio. This skin is just absolutely nuts. The beast form, instead of it being a bear, is more like a cacodemon or something along those lines. It's just awesome. She's got this Victorian, what's a good way to think about it? Like the Van Helsing movie, that kind of, you know, it's great. The animations are green. She's face is covered up, the white hair with that big ponytail coming off the back. It looks great.
Yeah,
it looks like every character I tried to make when I was playing MMOs.
Right?
That's what it looks like.
It looks like the dream character that you try to make.
Yeah, it looks like my wife's tank from ESO. Very close. Next one, making fun of it, but Moonlit Neath looks good. The horns, the bow, everything. She's kind of got this like dark elf harpy look going on.
A little sassy.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's another Neath skin. But not to pick on Neath, let's spread the skin love.
Okay, let's get on to the good skin.
Yes. Dragon
please.
Doggo Kukulkan. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This skin.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know. Oh.
Sacred Dragon Kukulkan is my favorite skin. Probably like top 3 favorite skins in the game, right? And I thought I would never play another Kukulkan skin. I was like, this is it. This is the skin for me. Celebration. All of that good stuff. And then I saw the Dragon Doggo. I was sitting on the desk at Patch Notes when I saw the reveal of that because I didn't read my email. And so I had no idea that we were doing it.
But you didn't forget to read your email. You wanted your reactions to be natural.
Oh, of course. The things I do for this community. But I saw it and I'm sitting there on the desk and I'm like, oh my god, this is so precious. I like squealed into the mic. I think I might have impacted the hearing of a couple of people in production. But I love it. It's so cute. I love it.
I like this theme. This year's Halloween themes not being scary or spooky characters, but just characters in costumes. Or in this case, a character being a costume, which is kind of freaky if you think about it. This dog is wearing Kukulkan.
This dog has skinned Kukulkan. How powerful is that wiener dog?
It's great. The animations look great. It's fantastic. Convention 2019 Cerberus coming on. Even for pretty much just being a reskin, it looks really good. The red with the bluish white for all of the color and glowing and animations looks really good. I think it's one of the better convention skins we've had since I've started playing.
Yeah, the art team's really doing a hot job.
Yeah. Terabyte looks great with this like dystopian cyberpunk look.
I'm loving all the cyber skins that we're getting. Yeah. Like, I know a lot of people are tired of them, but I'm so into like the cyberpunk aesthetic. And I love all of them. Like Pixel Discordia, when we did that one was incredible. And now we have Terabyte, and Terabyte's amazing.
Can we just talk about her voice pack, though?
There's more important things to talk about, Dan.
That Russian accent, dude.
Yeah. And she's a ginger, so everybody wins.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, Yuki's going to like this one.
Yeah.
As a ginger, I will say that everybody does win when a ginger is involved.
It's true. Most of the ginger with all of the souls, but everybody does win. This Huyi skin, man. It's been a long time since Huyi got a really good skin. This is incredible.
Do you like owls, though? That voice line got me
God.
So good.
When I heard that in the patch notes, I was 2,000% sold when I saw it, and I was shut up and take my money when I heard that. I laughed my ass off. I had to pause the video. I was dying. I had to rewind it like 4 times just to hear it again. I was so hyped. I love it.
And then probably, Raw's our next one with Phoenix Raw. This might take the spot. I've just played a little bit. This Phoenix Raw skin might take best Raw skin.
Yeah,
it's
not only is it a really good skin, but it's a raw skin. Like, it is so raw.
Yeah, it's not a holiday skin. It's not a themed skin. It is just fantastic. I mean,
this skin just rocks.
Can I be really honest about my thoughts on this skin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I first saw this one, I love it. This skin is amazing. But when I first saw it, the only thing I could think was, how long is it going to take before this ends up in a bunch of bad tattoos and merchandising advertisements like Raw America did? Like, how long is it going to take?
Not long.
Not long at all now. Matter of fact, someone's going to listen to this and be like, oh, that would be a good tattoo.
Oh.
Give them a week. They'll tweet you.
I better get credit, whoever it is.
Copyrighted right here. Copyright Split Push Podcast. So we're going to move on to Harris Odyssey's up next year. For the purchasable items and bonus items, we're getting Fiend Hunter Artio, Moonlit Scout, Neath, Startled Peacock Global Emote, Hera's Companion Recall Skin are the purchasable items. So that's going to be your Artio skin, and your Neath skin will be direct purchasable. The rest of them will be in that chest. Let's talk about this. So last year when they got done with the Odyssey chest, I was 0 items remaining in the chest, and there's already like 20 in there. It's just, it was wacky. I was like, all right, I got to start this year. I got a head start by completing it last year, and keeping on top of the skins I wanted, but not going crazy. There's like 30 items in the chest, and that General Nostra skin will be mine at some point. And the bonus item is the Dragon Doggo Kukulkan. So go for that bonus. I'm going to have to figure out how to get that. Dan, I don't know how you're going to make money, but I can see you doing it.
I can find a corner for that. I'll do anything. I need that skin. That's too adorable. Can't help it. Everybody wants their lawn mowed, and where else to set up a stand to mow lawns and sell lemonade than the corner? I don't know what y'all are thinking, but
I would go with the
lemonade.
I would go with the Home Depot.
Shit. You got any grapes?
I might have a pack of grapes just in case I get any smart Alex,
And then they've got the Season 5 HRX Digital Loot Pack. This year is the 2019 Cerberus Convention skin, Terabyte, Terra, the Hunter Huyi, and Phoenix Raw. So pretty much with the exception, So with the exception of the Cuckoo skin, this is where, like, I'd say the stronger skins are in. So definitely, if you're looking to get most of this patch, the loot pack's going to be the way to go. Loadout items are Phoenix Fire Fountain Effect, SWC Phoenix Fire Jump Stamp, SWC Rocket Announcer Pack, Darkwave Music Theme, which sounds really good. This is one of the better ones. What was that last one? The last music theme?
Lo-Fi Beats, that one.
Yeah. So that's 2 for 2 here recently with the music themes being really on point.
Yeah, I had to
aggro
have
announcer
the Lo-Fi Beats. It sounded so good. Once I played the sample, I was sold.
Yep. And then aggro and taco announcer packs for those of you who are fans of the SPL, high res awesome. Aggro and high res taco.
They better have taken our advice and done good quadra and pentakills calls.
I don't know. I heard aggro's little sample, and that was really good. On the patch notes show.
Oh, it was so hype. I couldn't contain all of the hype.
I mean, to be fair, would you want aggro doing your pentakill or aggression?
I'm thinking aggression better have come out for at least the
aggression all the way.
Yeah.
If it's just regular old aggro telling me I got a pentakill, I'm going to be disappointed. Like, is it even worth it at that point?
That's true. I mean,
I'm surprised they didn't just call it the aggression.
You kind of got a point.
That would have been hype. That would have been cool.
No, that announcer pack's coming down the road.
That way he can take credit for your pentakill.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
You're welcome for that pentakill.
And then miscellaneous to round out the loot pack this year: 750 fantasy points and a divine chest roll. So
that's
pretty good
fat loot pack.
Yep, solid skins this year again.
Yeah.
Project Olympus was a quick little UI update. Escape menu has been updated artistically and functionally. So that means when it hits console, it'll be artistic and dysfunctional. The UI bugs have been really wonky. So I don't know about Xbox, but on PlayStation, we had this problem for the longest time where if you played a game and somebody gets on, you're like, let's go play Smite. Everybody in the party had to restart the application.
Yeah. That was really fun, having to restart the app literally like 5 to 6 times a day. Just to invite people.
we broke our minimize button on PC for a little while. That was fun.
Oh, I'm sure that
it's like, really you've opened Smite? Congratulations. You're stuck here forever. You live here now. Welcome to the battleground.
Gotcha.
Welcome to the battleground, bitch.
I can't imagine really, let's just add this and what the hell did that break? Like, are you kidding me? Like, how does that break this? And, computers, not alone.
How do you think we feel, man? Like, when this stuff breaks, like, we test extensively. And again, I have very limited knowledge as to what goes on over on dev side because I work at esports. We're like a whole other building and everything. But, we test to the best of our ability, but sometimes stuff just goes wrong and we're just like, what? How does this even happen?
Yep. Well, that's like your computer yesterday. I was joking I joked all day we broke your computer.
Dude, this is what I get. I was like, my old reliable laptop, it'll be fine. She's been through worse. It's fine. It doesn't matter that she's been off for 3 weeks. It's okay.
Yeah, it's just when you get computers and computer systems involved, you just assume something's gonna do something.
I just kept saying that she was a little nervous with all the big names: Dirtnap Dan, Dirtnap Dad, Yuki, Guy. I mean, those are some big names,
Listen,
scary
man.
People.
Wow.
Listen, I live in Mixer Chat.
Wow.
She's not paying attention. She doesn't even know.
I live in Mixer Chat. Nothing scares me.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 902.
Anyway,
she's paying attention.
902.
Now,
she's paying
Plus,
attention.
mine's
now.
the biggest. Obviously, it's the biggest name here.
I mean, it's the only one that has a dog in it, so that's worth something,
that's
right?
Does she gets more messages about, do you own a beagle? Because I own a beagle, beagle, all the time. Like, getting messages
You won't let
from
me
people
own a
about
beagle, alright? So my best friend has 3.
So she had like
you
5.
adopted
Problem
beagle.
solved. She doesn't have 5 beagles. She has 3
there's
beagles.
more patch notes.
Yeah, there is more patch notes. For being a short one, it's taking us forever to get through it here now.
Well, we're just, we're making sure that they get the full experience.
The full patch experience.
Mm-hmm.
Miscellaneous on this patch, awesome chest, getting the Midnight Raven Isis skin, which is pretty cool. It's a good skin for her.
Actually, I have a question, and maybe she might know.
Mm-hmm.
Does that skin change the sky when it's in the game?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know, actually.
Because,
It
okay,
does.
I loaded into a conquest, and I look up at the sky, and I start freaking out because it's dark, there's stars and all kinds of cool stuff, and I'm like, whoa, this has never looked like this. Guys, am I crazy? This has never looked like this. Please tell me I'm not insane and didn't notice how cool this looked before. Somebody tell me I'm not insane. And they were all like,
I have. You just don't trust me.
Yes.
Why would I trust you?
does.
You think left is right and right is left.
That's different. That's dyslexia.
Attack left lane. Everybody goes right except for Dan, who dies alone and scared.
Yep.
Oh my god!
Oh, no,
Because everybody else knows what he means.
That's not going to the wrong lane, Dan. That's letting you get what you deserve.
Oh! At first it was funny, and then it was just sad.
Yeah, we're all so used to it. He says right, we all go left, except for Dan.
I trusted him. And my trust was thrown into the graveyard.
No. See, everybody else trusted that I would be dyslexic.
Yeah.
You trusted that I wouldn't be.
I mean, I know to
I
trust
am.
that when Yuki says sovereignty, he means heartward, and when he says heartward, he says sovereignty. But like, geez.
All right, so when I say right, that means left, and when I say left, that means right. And I get really confused if I'm like coming away from the enemy base. Then I start spinning in circles, like, which way am I going? I don't know.
Like, even now, all these years later, whenever I boot up Conquest, which is rare, it's very rare that I play a Conquest game. But without fail, I'll buy my items, and then I'll start going in the direction I think I'm supposed to go, and it's never the right one.
It's never
It's never the right one. I don't know how I get it wrong, like, both times. But it's never the right one.
It doesn't help
me
that,
guess your-
like, when you switch sides, you're like, all right, Solo's left. It's been left all day. Wait, we're on the other side? Shit.
It's like, I'm halfway down solo lane before I remember that I'm a hunter.
It's only really bad if you end up in the wrong lane and you're playing mid.
Yeah, I do that shit playing mid, and I'll like rotate to the wrong way to go get the red buff because I've been playing the other side all day. I'm like, oh shit, the red buff's on the other side.
Yep. So our fantasy points store. We'll get through these patch notes. Damn it!
It's a long patch. I told you.
Yes.
Fantasy point store update this year. Fuck. I'm broken.
We can't
Fantasy
get through
point
the patch.
update on
We
this
keep
patch
broken.
is for the Fantasy Point store. All for one Freya, Harajuku Neath, and Stargazer Agubis. So the Harajuku Neath, so you can annoy the shit out of everybody.
Sometimes when there's one of those, like, the really cutesy Harajuku or Kawaii skins, if they VGS a lot, Yuki gets mad just because the skin is so goddamn annoying.
And then I get to turn around and play the skin the next game, but I don't VGS spam.
But it's not like they're even spamming. They're like, enemy missing left, attack, gank, and then we're like, oh my god, shut up.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, who was it? It was the Kawaii Bastet.
Yes.
God.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And she wasn't doing anything wrong. She wasn't
No.
spamming. She was just literally communicating
She was communicating
properly.
so well that Yuki was like about to kill her of a headache.
He's like, I gotta mute her, but she's making calls, so I can't. Like, I don't know what to do.
It's like,
Oh, no,
you're
I'm-
so helpful, and I still hate you. How is this possible?
Don't worry, I muted the Bastet.
Yeah. And then he went left instead of right, and all was good.
Yep.
And Dan died
Oh.
again.
Yep. New loadout items: Chernobog announcer pack, 8-bit music theme, shooting stars, fountain effects, magic 8-ball jump stamp.
Still waiting for that
Stuff.
Billiards Discordia skin, I'm just saying.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We've been throwing it at
Yeah.
every high-res
That
employee.
and-
Like, come on. You know it's
That
good.
And the digital Daji with her nerd pull of dirt.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what skin I've been waiting on? That I've been begging high-res for?
Let's hear it.
Yes,
Let's hear it.
tell
I'm
us,
ready.
Please.
A
I'm
literal
begging.
bug dad skin for Khepri, where he's in little khakis and a little polo, and he tells dad jokes.
I would be a Khepri main.
Yeah, he would.
You put
Yeah.
any god in that tells dad
Dude.
jokes, I am there.
I'd be stuck with him as support all the time, and he'd just be spamming jokes the whole time. Are you
You have to
serious?
mute him.
I will.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. Yes, you have my full support for that. Full support.
That's
You're
awesome.
like losing really, really hard in the game, and he's just cracking jokes. It's like, now's not the time, Bug Dad.
Bug Dad, knock it off. We're trying.
I'm sick of your shit, man.
So, bug fixes.
I can see one of his jokes. I'm friends with all the letters in the alphabet. I don't know why.
It wasn't funny yesterday.
Yes, it was.
So, speaking of bug fixes, we have a position open on the Smite podcast for host.
Yeah.
But in the
Put your
general bug
applications
fixes, fix
Please.
relics in local matches cooldown timers continuing after pausing match. Fix the Bull Demon King and Joust not using his line attack. Fix
That's
an issue
kinda
where
nice.
spectating matches, back to back would crash the game.
Spectator has been a spectacle.
Mode.
That's
Oh, God bless our spectator mode. Like, y'all should see, we have pages of documentation about how to work with this mode. We're trying our best. Like
All right,
score spectator,
so-
man.
If you want to switch from this perspective to this perspective, you need to sit down, stand up, spin around, sit down, stand up, and wish, wish, wish.
it's like trying to do cheat codes for a video game. Just frantically pressing keys like, oh God, I hope I got it right. Let's see.
I remember back in the day before they worked on it a good bit when I would accidentally hit spectate match instead of invite, and I'm like,
It's the worst.
guys, I'll be back in like half an hour. I accidentally hit spectator, and they'd all be like, oh, rip.
Yeah. We'll start a new game, don't worry, bud. Also, fix an issue where rewinding while spectating could crash the game. Yep. Skin fixes. Fix Chernobog Oni incorrectly having special 2 emote in VGS menu.
The only one that's important in here is the last one.
Fixed
That's
Evil
it.
Spirits. Bacchus having no audio for his taunts and jokes while drunk. That
Oh,
just
kinda
that seems
hard
that
to do.
seems normal.
He's
Fix
just
Cutting Edge
drunk.
Uller.
What did F. Dot say on the patch notes? He's just that guy. He's like super loud and boisterous, and then when he gets drunk, he's just kind of there. He's like, so. That was funny. F. Dot cracks me up.
Yeah, man.
F-Dot's hilarious.
I love him.
Fix Cutting Edge Uller victory screen showing default weapons in the background. Fix Cutting Edge Uller's directed taunt towards Hu Yi. Fix Shonen Spark Mercury abilities made you look and special delivery voice lines playing multiple times. Fixed swapped voice lines for Shonen Spark Mercury VGS lines VT2 and VT3. Fixed Warlord Kubikata special emote not continuing to loop.
Oh,
There you
you're
go.
welcome, Dirt
Such a
Nap
pain in
Dad.
the ass to not have to spam that. I am so looking forward to just being able to jam out again now.
UI fixes. Fixed missing clan icon when purchasing items in the clan score.
Score.
The clan score. The clan store.
You get
It'd
a
be
lot
cool.
of points for that, man.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we had new items in there too. I mean,
Oh, I completed that
a year and a half.
Yeah, forever ago.
Yep. Fixed custom draft Joust games only having 3 bans instead of 4. Fixed some players missing parts of their ranked history tabs in their profile page.
That didn't happen. Whoops.
Let's see here.
Fix an issue where Dan accidentally closed out of the conversation and
No, I meant to type
Discord
something in leader
and
chat. I
log
meant to
back
type
in.
something in leader chat. I clicked on leader chat in the voice. Come on, give me some credit. I'm not that bad.
fixed
Donk.
Fixed Rage and Iron Tyrant loading frames displaying the wrong ranked icons. Fixed rank enemy teams' bank time changing to an incorrect value when reaching the pick phase. Console fixes, the only ones that matter. Fixed an issue where players would not be able to join parties if they left the game console idle for a long period of time. Yep. Fixed owned text not displaying centered in the store. Fixed Xbox crash when 4+ accounts were logged in at the same time. Fixed video players showing a pink screen instead of the intended video. Okie dokie. Fixed text or contents in bundles appearing cut off. So lots of changes. These are the kind of changes we'll get the most of with these baby patches heading into HRX. God fixes Amy Amaterasu fixed an issue where Amaterasu's ultimate would appear to play more than 3 times in a single fire.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Yep. Fix an issue. Hera fix an issue where Hera's ultimate could go on cooldown without summoning Argus if she was interrupted at a specific time.
I'm not going to talk about the monkey.
Yeah, Humbot's ult much. Fixed an issue where her ability 1 visuals would sometimes play more times than intended on a single fire. Fixed missing Hera God description in the About section. Robin fixed an issue where his ultimate animation would appear to play more than once when fired. There seems to be a theme going here. Serket fixed an ultimate description showing incorrect damage values. Her damage was not changed. Shibalanque fixed an issue where players could experience frame rate issues while playing this god. Cool.
No item balance. High five.
0 item balance changes, so hold on for that Mercury Golden Blade for next season. God balances. Hera. Hera becomes a thing-ish. Commanding Presence, passive, damage from Royal Assault and Polymorph also reduces the cooldown of Divine Shroud by 0.33 seconds, so that would be her 1 and her 2, putting cooldown on her 3. Royal Assault, her 1, increased base damage from 75 scaling 255 to 80 scaling 280, which is good. That actually makes quite a bit of difference on her wave clear, which is awesome. Polymorph, her 2 polymorphed enemies are now slowed by 20%. That's probably one of the biggest changes to her kit. That's really big. Divine Shroud, her 3, fixed the in-game description to accurately show how much shielding Hera receives, and they also increased shield health from 40 scaling 200 plus 15 per level to 50 scaling 250 plus 20 per level. Maximum increase from 500 to 600 HP. The shield's a thing. It's not bad now. So, I like that one. And with her ultimate, Argus the Defender, lots of changes. Increased deploy range from 55 to 65 units. That's pretty cool. You don't have to be up in somebody's face to drop Argus. Increased maximum leash range from 85 to 125, which is a big change. Lets Argus chase a lot further away from you before he
That was the most
gets
annoying
distracted.
thing I thought about, almost the leashing range.
Yeah. Nothing like, go get him, Argus! Wait, what are you doing? No. Okay.
Not the fire giant.
No, over there, please.
Like, just across the lane, right there. No? Okay, just die to the minions. Okay.
It's exactly how I feel when I ask my jungler to do anything.
Yep.
Yeah, we know the feeling.
We know the feeling.
Yeah, anyway.
Get back in my backpack where you belong.
Also, increased protections gained from 15 scaling to 35 physical protections and 15 magical protections to 25 to scaling 45 on both protections. He gets legitimate magical protections. That's a thing they should have had from the beginning. Increased Argus's health from 700 scaling to 3,000 to 700 scaling to 3,500. So another 500 health on the top there. He can actually tank a little bit more now. He's still going to be hilarious at low levels, though, when he dies to minions.
Yeah. He'd drop Argus on like a Vulcan, he'd be dead in like 2 seconds.
Yep. Increased crash landing damage scaling from 35 to 55% magical power, so now he does damage equal to Kumba's 1. Argus attack chain increased targeter range from 65 to 80 units, which is great. So he can hit a little further away. And Argus' second attack, now this is 2 Argus's second attack in the hit chain, which is the AoE slow one. It reduced self-movement penalty on Argus's ground slam windup from 50% to 35%. Good, because that 50% slow for his basic chain was just ruined it. He'd wait for him to swing and then walk away. And they increase the slow duration on Argus's attack chain from 1 second to 1.5 seconds. So, Polymorph now slowing 20% on top of the Argus slow. It should make him able to get his damage off a lot better and kind of let him do what he's supposed to, because that's, a 35% slow now? Total?
Yeah, 35%.
So that's pretty gross. That's a pretty big slow.
Well, at least Hera might be able to hit that 1 now.
Yeah, maybe. So
I don't know. I haven't played her yet, just because like I said, I like to wait till they go through this phase, and then I'll start playing. I'm like, all right, now that she's got her adjustments, let's go play her now.
Yeah, and
I haven't played her either.
these are the only adjustments she's going to probably see really until we start season 6. So
yeah, we're pretty much locked down until after HRX is over for sure.
Nice, short, sweet patch, even though we drug it on.
I told you,
Yes,
super
we
long
certainly
patch
did.
notes.
So let's skip Yuki reading the lore here again.
Totally. I mean, fuck that guy. What an asshole.
I mean, he's just been talking for so long already, but go ahead, read the lore. Let's get a move on. High five.
All right, so this week we've got Khepri, the hug bug, the love bug, the meaty claw basic attacks. Khepri is an Egyptian god. He has a couple of different transliterated pronunciations depending on which of the 2 languages from Egypt or surrounding languages his name is written in. They're still all pretty much pronounced Khepri or Khepri. He is the ancient Egyptian solar deity, sort of. So like Ra, there's 3 parts to the sun god when it comes to Egyptian mythology, and that is, my brain just totally shut down. So Ra represents the midday cycle of the sun, and Khepri represents the morning of the sun, hence him moving the sun across the sky, and that was taken, and the reason he's shown as a scarab beetle is because they went, wow, that beetle rolls a ball of shit across the sand. That's what happens to the sun. Connection made. So that's where the scarab beetle comes from, is they based him on the dung beetle rolling a ball of dung. And
well, that's a shitty connection.
Yeah, I know, right?
Quite literally.
Quite literally. And even shittier is the poor guy doesn't even get his own temple, because he's not one of the, even though he's big in Egyptian mythology, he's not one of the prominent deities in the religion. When you look at Ra, or depending on which dynasty and period you're in, it sometimes shifts to Atum or Atum-Re, who's the same person, and he's the waning sun leading into the afterlife. And they took a lot more of the prestige as far as sun worship was done in ancient Egyptian religion.
I think Khepri deserves a temple. I'm going to build him a temple.
He does. I'll build him a temple.
Well, he's super interesting because the scarab beetle shows up in a ton of artwork, a ton of like ancient in-home little magic icons and amulets. He shows up everywhere for not being a prominently worshipped deity, which is very rare. Even in general, not just looking at the 99 gods we have in Smite. It's very unusual to see that, and it kind of puts him in an interesting place. And I'm glad he's in this game because, the hug bug, man.
I have a Khepri tattoo. I love me some Khepri, and I think he deserves a temple.
Well,
he does very hard work.
They do say your body's a temple, and Auvey has a Khepri tattoo. So
there it is.
Auvey is the Khepri temple.
I gave Khepri his temple.
There you go.
He earned it.
I actually watched that video on YouTube the other day.
So that's our hug bug mythology.
All right, Dan, give a read through what abilities he has here.
Okay, we'll start with the passive. Fortitude. Every 5 seconds, Khepri applies a shield to himself and nearby allied gods for 2% of the target's maximum health for 15 seconds. The rate is slowed to every 10 seconds if Khepri has taken or dealt damage in the last 5 seconds, max 10%. Shield, 2% of maximum health. His first ability is Abduct. Khepri lunges forward, dealing damage to enemies he passes through. If he connects with an enemy god, he stops, grabs them, and starts pulling them backwards while gaining increased protections. Enemies are silenced for the duration of the pull. Thank God they added those protections, man. Before that, dude, it was scary to pull anybody.
It was like committing suicide almost. It's like, well, I'll pull him, but
you better kill him before he kills me, I tell you what.
Please, God, burn him fast.
The damage is 80 to 280 plus 40% of your magical power. The pull duration goes from 1.5 seconds to 1.9 seconds. And the protection scale 10 to 30. His second ability, Rising Dawn, Khepri rolls the sun forward, setting ablaze all enemies it touches or the ball of dung and making them smell quite poopy. Reducing physical protections and dealing damage over time. Allies that are hit take reduced damage from the enemies for the duration. Damage is 10 to 22 plus 5% of your magical power every 0.3 seconds. The protection debuff is 5 to 25%. The damage mitigation is 10 to 30%, and the duration is 3 seconds. Khepri calls down the sun. Solar flare. Khepri calls down the sun's ire at the target location, dealing damage and rooting all targets in the area. The damage is 60 to 280 plus 30% of your magical power, and the root duration is 1.5 to 1.9 seconds. And the reset button. Scarab's Blessing. Khepri blesses an allied god, immediately cleansing them of all crowd control as well as granting them movement speed and immunity to slow effects. If the marked ally would die while blessed, they are instead revived with a percentage of their maximum health at Khepri's location. The revived health starts at 25% and ends at 45%. Movement speed is 20 to 40%, and the duration is 5 seconds. Basically, that's either a get-out-of-jail-free card or go run into the jail and cause hell and die and come back for free.
Because we all deserve a second chance.
Agreed. Khepri, our savior.
Yeah, you gotta love and hate that alt. Depends on which side you're on.
Yeah. Or if you're on the right side, you just ult the wrong person, you know?
I can't tell you how many times I've just been like in such a rush that by the time I flick the ability out, it's too late and I've already ulted myself, and I'm like, well,
I get
this
that.
is unfortunate.
It's the worst feeling, man. You're like, look at me
sucks.
about to make this clutch play. And then you just ult yourself and you're like, well, now I look like a selfish idiot.
Now I'm just going to stand in the middle of the lane and dance.
This is fine. This is fine.
So, Auvey, why don't you tell us a little bit about how to play the old hug bug here, or as I'm going to call him now, the new dad bug.
So, my general strategy with playing Khepri is be a thick boy, stand in lane, and continue to be a thick boy. And that's really, like, Khepri, you know, the reason I enjoy him is because, you know, he's sort of a natural tank. He's got some damage mitigation. Even though he doesn't have, like, a lot of self-sustain, his cooldowns are pretty higher than I would like. And he can be a little bit slow. He's a thick boy. He just stands there and is like, no, you get off of my ADC. You get off of my jungler. I'm gonna stand here and be thick. And then there's nothing you can do about that. So I enjoy playing Khepri with the pure intention to just make sure that my dudes are okay. Be like, you good? You need a little protection. You need maybe a second chance at life. You good? Are you okay? And then just otherwise standing around and being like, did you want to go anywhere or do anything or be able to move and not be CC'd? Because I have bad news for you, my guy. That's not how this is going to go. So generally, I use Khepri as like kind of a interrupt, very control heavy kind of guy. I'll like pop a solar flare and then abduct somebody if I want to like pick a god, disable them, make sure that I can lock them down and bring them back to my team, to let them hopefully secure the kill. Or you can have a little bit of fun, switch it up, and if you're feeling yourself, think you can hit your target, you abduct first, drag your target back, and then pop a solar flare to make sure that they're going to stay wherever they are, while hopefully your ADC follows up with whatever, or you get some AoE stuff going on to just kind of wombo combo them back into the grave. Any of that good stuff. Generally my job as Khepri, the way I like to approach Khepri is, I'm going to stand here, I'm going to make sure that you're safe, and then I'm just going to grab and stun and control and hopefully serve your enemy up to you on a silver platter so that you can do what you do best and burst them down into nothing.
It's the best feeling when you're on point and just nothing can run away from you as Khepri.
Oh my god, it's the best. I love it.
I love the throwing the rising sun at whoever I'm about to, misplace on purpose, and dashing through it to get the mitigations myself. Mm-hmm. And then they're abducted, they're smacking me, and I'm taking no damage. And they're taking damage from me, they're taking damage from everyone else. Oh, it's so fun.
I'm particularly fond of. It's a little bit harder to do on the Season 5 map since it's a little bit more open. But just standing in, like, a jungle path and just standing there and being like, I'm sorry, did you need to be somewhere? Because I'm a thick boy and you're not going to go anywhere.
He's got, like, what, the second largest hitbox?
I think he does. Who is it that has the first?
I gotta think. He might have the largest hitbox. Maybe Sylvanas.
Maybe Sylvanas, like, Cerberus, maybe? Cerberus is a pretty big boy. He's a beefy boy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about Cerberus. I was kind of thinking Geb was pretty big, but yeah.
Yeah. Khepri might take the cake.
I don't know for sure. I know Sylvanas is pretty big, because if you hit that one leaf sticking off his shoulder, that counts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of those stats we don't get, like how big the hitbox is.
I'm gonna have to find out. I'm gonna email some people because I need answers.
The top five biggest hitboxes in Smite. I'd love it.
You wouldn't believe number 3.
Ajax.
It's Hoonbots.
It's actually
Ajax,
Vamon.
please. I just need to know: is he the thickest boy on the battleground? Please.
That's actually some good info there. But actually, the thing that caught my attention there, Dan, I like your idea of dashing through your Rising Dawn to get those extra protections. That's a good little point. I haven't played a lot of Khepri. Being our newfound support main, he's been someone I've been looking at. Like I should probably learn how to play him better.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, we put Dirtnap into jail cell. He's the support main.
He has to deal with me.
If not for the fact that he's an excellent support, do it for the voice lines. Like, some of the voice lines in, like, his Dark Matter skin, for example.
Yes.
They're hilarious. Like, he's so, like, sweet and precious, and all Dark Matter Khepri wants is a kitten to call his own and to love. That's all he wants.
I mean,
voice lines do sometimes make that determination on what skin I'm using.
Yeah. So while we're on the abilities with this, do you want to cover, she covered a lot of the combos as far as, using his 1 and his 3. Dan called out the dashing through Rising Dawn for the protections. I don't think a lot of people use Rising Dawn enough of anything more than just a wave clear.
Mm-hmm.
The mitigation and the reduction that's gained through that, if you grab the hunter, or if you throw out Rising Dawn after you've hit level 2 and you dash and grab the hunter, dashing through Rising Dawn, that hunter pretty much isn't going to hurt you, and your hunter's just going to chunk him.
Yeah, like, Rising Dawn is one of those abilities, like, when I was very early on, when I started picking up Khepri, I was like, oh, I'll just use it to deal damage over time. Like, I'll get that Dawn in, and it'll be whatever. But now, the way I approach it, those protections are really important, the damage reduction, very important. But I feel like Rising Dawn is one of those abilities that you should basically always have on cooldown. Like, unless you're standing around with nothing to do, and you just be, like, firing it into the trees somewhere.
That tree looked like it was going to wither. Here, friend, live.
Yep.
I believe in you. But you're either, giving protections or you're doing something else. And I feel like you should just pretty much always have that active. You should always see those little dots just bubbling around your enemies and your allies, or you're not Khepriing properly.
Yeah, even hitting that on your front creeps is worth hitting it on your front creeps and hitting them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they gave the ability enough range to hit your melee minions and the entire enemy wave.
Mm-hmm.
For a reason.
And that's important.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that definitely is. Hey, man, that's something I know I always, at least when I'm playing them, I know that much. I mean, I haven't played them much, but I know, yes, get those minions involved with it. So as far as ability build out, what's the best way here to start? I would assume, on a conquest mode, you're starting with Rising Dawn because that's your wave clear and helping keep your front minions alive there.
Yeah.
But what's the best way you think to build out his abilities wise?
I tend to always start with Rising Dawn. There's so much utility there that that's what I tend to prioritize. Outside of that, it tends to be a little bit situational. Abduct is generally the one that I will level up first. You know, that extra point, whatever, I don't know the exact numbers. On the pull duration, like that can make a lot of difference. That extra damage, though, that makes a huge difference. The extra protections, all that good stuff. And then I worry about Solar Flare and obviously Scarab's Blessing. Anytime I can level up an ult, I'm gonna level it up, especially one like that. But Rising Dawn is where it begins and ends with me. That's my priority. And then situationally, it'll either be Abduct or Solar Flare, but like 80-90% of the time, it's gonna be Abduct.
Okay. What about item-wise? What's our core items on the dad bug?
Oh man, you know, I like to play it a little bit fast and loose as a support. I don't lock myself into like really, really core item builds. That might just be me being bad at Smite, you know, but who's to say? Generally always, you know, Guardian's Blessing, something you're gonna want. I don't play a lot of Conquest, so that's not something I find myself picking up very much. I'm a filthy, like, Arena, Joust, Siege, Clash main. I don't have time to play Conquest anymore. It's quite upsetting. But, you know, I'll start with, like, Guardian's Blessing, and then usually I move into, Shoes of Focus. I want a little bit of extra CD because it's painfully slow. His cooldown timers, they're painfully slow.
They're huge. They are huge.
It's so bad. And there's nothing that feels worse than being a Khepri and having your ult like 3 seconds from cooldown and you just watch someone die and you're just like, man, if I had just a little bit more CDR and we wouldn't be in this position, my guy. Just a little bit. So cooldown is actually something I find myself, prioritizing on Khepri sometimes. I'll do like Shoes of Focus. Sometimes I'll build Breastplate for that little bit of extra CDR, some mana, some physical protection, all that good stuff. But generally I kind of like to go for aura builds. I'm a team player. I enjoy the aura builds, so like the heart words and the sovereignties.
Yeah, he almost strikes me as more of that backline defender where it's like,
yeah,
you know, I'm not up leading the charge. I'm just kind of sitting back here like, nope, you're rooted. Nope, I'll grab you. All right, throw some protections out here and do a little bit of damage there. Oh, throw an ult out, you know, get off him, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like, I want to interrupt. I want to buff you a little bit. I want to, like, make sure that you're good. But I always feel a little bit uncomfortable with Khepri when I'm in, like, the front lines. I feel, like, weirdly exposed. Because outside of Abduct, you know, you don't have a lot of options. Like, once people are on you, that's kind of it. So I will kind of run the thick boy in front of my teammates or whatever to zone and body block and do all that stuff. But other than that, yeah, you're definitely right. I enjoy playing him as a sort of backline support. Because even though he's like a big dude, people forget about him. And you're like, I'm just gonna hang back here and I'll stun you here in a minute, my guy. You keep doing what you think you're doing, and I'm gonna make sure you can't do any of those things.
Yeah, and the backline play also does work with his passive, because then if he's on the backline, he's taking or dealing less damage, so his throwing that little shield out there a little more often.
Exactly. Backline bug dad.
Yeah, he also plays really well with low mobility gods because the root has a good range on it, and that peel is and the pull is so long on the Abduct that he does really good doing light setup, you know, in the front line. But you with more of like a warrior or a solo, and for Conquest a solo lane, you know, support or warrior doing more of the front line setup, whereas he's really good with that peel. And he can stand back where he can really watch as a player, watch what's going on to look for that old opportunity. But definitely being back there because, you know, when the jungler jumps in on your op watch and you can pull him because you're right there. You don't have to go, oh shit, he's on the mage, turn around, figure out what's going on, figure out what ability's off cooldown, throw it and hope the mage didn't die in the meantime. You just turn and pull and your mage has, you know, a minimum of 1.5 seconds to start getting the hell out of there or to destroy them. So
and when all the peel fails, you know, Just give them a blessing and hope that they make it out alive.
I was going to say, if that fails, I thought you just dance.
Yeah. When in doubt, just do the Bugdad dance and everything will be okay.
Speaking of the Bugdad dance, F-Dot's Bugdad dance was weak on the end of patch notes.
Listen.
Yeah.
He put up such a fuss about having to do that. I'm like, Tom, do you realize how many times I've done this on camera and made a fool out of myself doing this dance?
And F-Dot, of all people.
For real, like, you're the most extroverted person I know, and you're not going to do the Bugdad dance with me? You're going to let me do it alone. But it's fine.
All right. Well, the most important question here about Khepri that I have for you, though, is what skin do you use?
Dark Matter Khepri, all the way.
All the way.
I love the cosmic system. I'm going to be real. People love the Hugbug skins. They kind of freak me out. I don't know what it is.
Creepy.
I find them a little creepy. I don't like it. There's something a little bit suspicious to me about those skins. But Dark Matter Khepri, like, that skin is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm a big fan of like cosmic themed stuff. That's very much my aesthetic. But Dark Matter Khepri is the Khepri that I got like my tattoo based on. It's the only skin I play, and not only is it the most beautiful skin, arguably for me for Khepri, it's also like the voice lines are absolutely amazing. The voice pack for Dark Matter Khepri is fantastic.
I don't know. I'm a pretty big fan of Chef Special.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I've actually been like, I've thought about doing it for Halloween, and I still might do it at HRX. Like, I want to walk around with a lobster hat on my head and just insist that I'm Chef Special Khepri.
just do it and glue a little piece of fake butter on there. You're good.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's great.
I just think it's funny. Hold on. I got one thing. I think it's funny that Hugbug is dreaming with his heart and soul about Ladybug, and Ladybug is over here fraternizing with Hunkules.
Oh no!
Ladybug, get some class.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, if you have anything more about Khepri or more questions or more to share, please always feel free to hop on over to the Discord and we can always continue the conversation there. But we're going to move on to this week's community section, which is located in the guest questions section, Beagle.
Do you?
Yes, I'm already
let's
there.
Get our questions for our special guest here today.
Alright, first up we have Evie or Yuri. My question is the same as last. If you could create a god from a mythology, which would it be and what role would they be?
That's actually a fantastic question, because for a long time, it was Artio. Like, I love bears. Like, I'm from the mountains and I love bears. And so for a long time it was Artio, and then we did that. And now I don't know. I don't know that I have an answer to that.
All right, well, dreams came true already. Sorry,
so checking another one for Baba Yaga.
I would love to see Set, though. I would love to see Set.
Requested one.
And I would also, I know because I filmed it, that this was a quote-unquote fake spoiler. But Axomama, Goddess of Potatoes, I would love to see that as well. I'd be so down for that.
Yeah. That'd be good.
I just want to huck a potato at somebody's head and just knock them out.
You'd be a mage throwing potatoes.
A potato.
There's just another perfect lineup for another Chef Special skin, too. Come on.
I love it. We can get a whole theme going. Let's make a Chef Special chest. Let's do that.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Get that
We've already sort of got 3.
Kitchen, adventure there.
Wait, was that another skin concept right there? Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah. Oh.
The voice pack on that would be great.
God.
Moving on. Oh,
all right.
Beagle,
Next question.
Instead of reports, I'm pretty sure that's esports.
Got you. Alright. Next question from Mr. Net. Do you think that the esports is at a satisfying level of growth, or do you think it needs more growth?
Do I think esports, our Spite esports scene needs more growth? So, of course, like, as a community member, as a community manager, I would always love to see Smite esports be bigger than it is. You know, I think that's the goal for really any company, any game, any initiative, really. But frankly, you know, outside of the possibility that would come with being bigger, I don't think we have, like, an inherent need to do so, if that makes sense. Like, our community is thriving right now. We have a lot of very active community members. You know, we have a lot of good stuff going on. We've got initiatives happening all the way from the pro level down to, like, the collegiate level. So while there is always a larger audience to appeal to, there's always more that you can be doing. I think for, you know, where we are, the kind of game that we are, that we're really in a fantastic spot.
I mean,
and,
stepping up to DreamHack is pretty big.
Yeah, no, DreamHack is huge, and the stuff we have planned for 2019 is huge, and I'm really excited about it, and I wish I could I want to fawn about it so badly, I just can't.
Well, when you can, you're more than welcome to come back.
Yeah, just have me back on, and I'll blabber about 2019 esports until the cows come home. That's the next great idea. Cow God. Where's our cow God? Where's that?
Oh God.
Cow God, take
Egyptian.
me away.
Hyros, please.
No, I know this one. I can't think of it off the top of my head. There's an Egyptian goddess represented by cows, goddess of
holy
birth and fertility. Anywho,
Heiferina.
No, I'll look it up because I won't be able to.
Aphrodite? Can we get a cow Aphrodite?
Oh, there we go.
Aphrodite.
She's totally got. Oh nope, I live in Florida. Nope, dark. Let's just move away.
Moving on, American Zombie there, Beagle.
Like, I'm just imagining the voice lines. Like, instead of defend right lane, move to right lane.
There would be so many good opportunities.
So the goddess I was thinking of is Hathor.
Ooh, that's a good
Egyptian
name.
mythology. Yeah, Hathor. Also a great character in Stargate, so.
All right, Beagle, on to American
Next
Zombie.
Next question from
I know American Zombie from my chat. Let's hear it.
How do you maintain sanity dealing with the demands of mixer chat that you have no control over, and how much alcohol is required?
Alright, well, contractually speaking, I cannot talk about the amount of alcohol that I consume while trying to deal with mixer chat. But, no, it's really, it is very hard. It does get really sticky, and sometimes I'm like full tilt, and I'm just like trying to hang on to my sanity, you know? But really it's just, you know, before I was doing this, I worked in inner city high schools. I taught creative writing classes in inner city high schools back in Richmond, Virginia. And when I was a journalist, I was a senior editor. So I managed a program of freelancers and interns that was like 70 people. Which is a lot, and I got a lot of experience dealing with like online environments from that, but I also got a lot of experience just managing and navigating large groups of people, especially large groups of people who have very, very different interests and goals and needs. So when I come into Mixer Chat, some days are worse than others. You know, some days I want to scream at all of them, and I get really salty, and I go full tilt, and I have to apologize to some people. Because, you know, it takes its toll on anybody. But mostly what I try to remember is that no matter how bad chat gets, no matter how toxic or salty or whatever they get, you know, at the end of the day, they're part of my community. They're here for the same reasons that I am, mostly, unless that reason is codes, but sometimes I'm there for that too.
Codes.
They just
Codes.
I have a picture on my desk printed out of the seagulls from Finding Nemo, except instead of mine, they're saying codes.
That's the first thing I said. Dan was saying about that, and I'm just like, dude, we need to take that, you know, the seagulls from Finding Nemo and make a meme out of that.
Oh, I have it. I've done it. It's on my wall.
It's already there.
It's on the wall of shame. But like being in Mixer Chat, everybody's there for the same reason ultimately. But what I try to remember is that all these people want is to be heard. They just want to be heard. They want to have a dialogue. So it helps me be a little bit less salty when I just, I remind myself of that. But generally, I type very fast. I'm very nice to ScottyBot, and I try to remember that sometimes the best thing to say is nothing at all. And also, I have a fantastic mod team. That's really what does it for me, is my absolutely amazing mods. So, shout outs to them, because I would be literally dead without them and without ScottyBot. So
good old ScottyBot.
God bless him. I might rename him to KhepriBot for HRX, though. I'm thinking about it.
He is a lifesaver.
I also I've been, in my internal testing for ScottyBot, I have a secondary bot set up called ScottyBot, but like Scotty the goddess.
Yeah.
It's a bad pun, but...
Well, hopefully there won't be so much begging for codes now that you're linking your account on Mixer.
Oh my goodness, tell me about it, dude. Account linking has been it's been such a saga for me. That's been like my white whale as a community manager, is getting account linking online. And it's finally in place for HRX, and I'm just praying to God that it works, because if it doesn't, I'm just... If anyone wants to know where I am, I'm weeping under my desk. It's fine.
We have an undisclosed amount of whiskey under there. It'll be okay.
If anyone hears strong weeping from her desk, they'll know the code's not working.
Why is that desk crying?
All the codes aren't working.
Don't worry about it, my guy. Don't worry.
All right. From Uncle Phoenix. Questions that come out of the thing above.
Well, I deleted that so you wouldn't get confused.
What?
So you confused her by not confusing her.
Big paragraph, no punctuation, no like. Could you rephrase it in the form of questions better? Because people's got to read this.
Okay, all right. So first,
hashtag make
number
people
one.
read.
Oh, you guys suck. What did I get myself into?
Make Big illiterate again.
Oh my god.
High five.
All right. Number one. Best ways to about great.
Uncle Phoenix called out.
Oh my.
I need to get revenge on him.
Wait,
so I'm guessing that this is supposed to say best ways about getting more promotion for the Smite Community League run by Verbrus Gaming, headed by Livid Liking from Titan or Skillshot.
Oh, I know exactly what they're talking about. Best way to get more visibility on the Vibrius tournaments that are happening. So, I think I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I am. Otherwise, I'm just going to embarrass them for the rest of this little spiel here. So, Vibrius is doing community tournaments, and they're doing I believe there's so many I can't keep track, but I believe they're doing this unofficial league style where they have open qualifiers for a little while, and they kind of close off and do a closed circuit and then open it back up. So my advice for people like the people in Vibrius or anybody who's looking to get into community tournaments, the first step is always to apply for official community tournament support from Hi-Rez. If you have a good idea, you want to get involved, we're very, very open to people who want to build out these community initiatives, and we do support with in-game prizing and gyms and all that good stuff. So we have an application link on codes.
Gems?
All the things, all of them. But we have an application link and instruction, guide on how to do that on the esports.smitegame.com website. But other than that, the best thing I can recommend is a regular social media presence. I would look at established community tournament organizers like Smite Prime, EGL, and Vulpus Esports. They all do fantastic social campaigns for their community tournaments, and they tend to get a lot of engagement. And we're also looking at some things that we can do in 2019 to sort of help our community tournament organizers out. And the last thing I would suggest is that if you are at all interested in live broadcast or in putting your community tournaments on a stream somewhere and doing some commentary and stuff over them, we have plenty of space on the Smite Game Mixer channel, and we are looking for community tournament organizers who want to contribute that content and do some sort of unofficial community esports broadcasts and that kind of good stuff.
Wow. You're like psychic. You just answered the second question.
Oh my goodness, look at me go. That's the most ahead of schedule I'm going to be all day.
Oh no, you did beat half the hosts here tonight. So
yeah, anyway.
There was that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
some of us left work early, sir.
I had
Some
some
of us
dinner
finished
to
dinner on
attend
time.
to. I had a very fancy dinner to go to
Yeah, like
in my kitchen.
Dirt Nap's mom was working hard and served us up some
Dinner
good food,
comes
I'll tell you
first.
what.
You wouldn't like me
Anyway,
when I'm
people, you
hungry.
can go on to number 3 now.
yeah. Oh wait, what is this? Have the considered? You suck today.
Ooh, Uncle
Grammar
Felix
points.
getting it from Beagle.
She's barking up a storm over there.
Oh my gosh. Have they considered picking up the idea of a Smite console minor league, but having it solely run between certain Smite community members who know what they're doing and high-res?
So, we have toyed around with the idea of having a Smite console minor league. Of course, the thing that we have to consider, you know, as a production company, as a tournament administration company, is that you have to consider interest. You have to consider how much viewership, how much engagement, how much participation something like a console minor league can draw. And as much as that's something that we would like to do, you know, mirror for console the way that we mirror it for PC, the numbers I don't think are really there yet. The engagement just isn't there yet. And I think console players have an excellent opportunity in that we run like 5-week-long open bracket qualifiers. So if you can find a team and that team is decent at what they do, there is a very good chance that you have a shot at being in the SCL, which is not a path that people have to like the SPL anymore. You know, PC Smite has become a sort of very closed ecosystem where there aren't a lot of open bracket opportunities. There aren't all of these other things. But that's not the case for console. So since console is still very much an open ecosystem with open bracket qualifiers and a ton of community tournaments going on in between those qualifiers, there's not really a high demand for a minor league in that regard right now.
Man, Split Push should go get shit on in one of those. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to be
Sounds
out of
like a
position,
blast.
you know, there.
0-2, let's do it. Make the dream come true. 0-2.
I'd love to see y'all jam some unofficial leagues. That'd be fantastic.
Oh god, you don't want to see that.
Nobody wants to
Listen,
see
man,
that.
if you make it to the minor league, we'll make you a logo and everything.
You don't want to see that.
We made a logo with a unicorn on it not too long ago. It was fabulous. It was amazing.
Fabulous!
Thank you.
God, that's my Chiron skin there.
Nice thing.
There's a
There you
picture
go.
and everything.
Still jealous that I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's out there.
It is definitely out there.
So, Uncle Phoenix,
I
question
should set
number
that
four.
as
It
a phone
can't be
lock
unseen.
screen. Like, that is so mean.
Alright. Number 4. Anyway, I could work with them more hands-on to give them more outside perspective for the community.
I'm thinking he's talking about working with high-res or on the community side. A little more interaction, I think is what he's getting for here, to help all of the like community-based leagues.
Yeah, I'm always happy to hear from people who want to get more involved in the community and more involved in community initiatives. For people who are just starting out, for people who don't have like a quote unquote in with, you know, the high-risk people, community tournaments are a great way to start. That's a fantastic way to give back to your community and give people a space to practice and get a little taste of what competitive life is like. While also, you know, laying the groundwork to open doors to other opportunities in the future.
Awesome.
Made so people can read.
Right.
Of
We
course.
didn't get Uncle Phoenix's customary guest question, though.
Well, that's inferred. We're supposed to know that.
Yes,
So
yes.
That question is
Oh.
when we finally figure out how to do the karaoke episode, are you in?
Oh, I will sing Johnny Cash until the cows come home.
There we go. We got all the
There we go.
casters. We got Auvey. We got Taco. We're good.
Smitten?
Smitten's in.
Smitten, Uncle Phoenix himself.
Uncle Phoenix better damn well be in. After.
Oh, he's definitely
He's in whether
in.
he likes it or
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I mean, he's singing.
Alrighty, Guy, over your community questions here from out in social media
Right.
land.
Well, a lot of them are more comments than questions, but okay.
Yeah, it still works.
We have
Just the
first one
question
from-
codes? I feel like the
No.
questions were probably codes.
There, I
Codes.
literally, like, I was working and I was driving my work truck, and there's like two guys sitting by me. Like, I posted up there, and it starts dinging and dinging, and I'm like, oh. I said, oh, look, people are getting questions, and I look, and it's like all says codes, and I'm like, holy shit! Just start laughing.
I'm gonna be real, y'all. Like, you know how I generate those unique code phrases for Mixer Chat? I seriously considered generating one that was like a one-time use code for something really cool. And like burying it in this podcast as an Easter egg so that people would just have to listen and keep listening and try like all of these random phrases that I said out loud in their game clients. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I'm not going to tell.
Exactly.
I'm just
going
gonna
to
let
type
them-
every single thing you've said
Dun,
in
dun,
now.
Right.
Just a full transcript and see
Speech
what
to
happens.
text, baby.
Let me see.
Speech
Everybody
to
better
text.
watch this episode. Listen to this episode. There might or there might not be a code in there.
Oh,
If they're watching it, they're taking some heavy shit.
it's like, it might be Archon Thanatos, or it might be a cutesy avatar chest. Who knows? Let's play the game.
8,000 gems? You're shitting me.
All right. The first one we got is from the Facebook group, and it's from Miko Corpinine. Okay. He says, "Get yourself back to the top 5 grandmasters."
Back? What does he mean back?
I have no idea. Have you ever been a grandmaster there?
I haven't played a game of Ranked in my life.
Someone.
Listen, man.
Listen, I don't know who you think I am, but I'm insulted. Calling me one of those ranked plebs? Get out of here.
Yeah, right.
Listen, like, I have things to do with my time.
Let's be
Ain't nobody
careful.
had time for
We
that
don't wanna
shit.
kill Yuki.
I don't know.
Oh, please do.
The idea is tantalizing. A little bit.
All right, then we
I
got
know,
the
right?
Reddit questions. and
I'm at like
comments.
75% tilt most of the time. What am I going to do if I get into rank?
Oh,
gonna
God, trust
happen?
me, I'm with you.
That'll go, just add a 0 to the end of that.
Like, I'm such a
75%.
hyper-competitive person. I can't deal with that environment. I'll drive myself crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. The next one we have is from Lan Quo.
Oh, I know them. I know them from chat.
All right.
Hello, friendo.
Yeah.
Let's
they say
hear this
only-
question.
He's probably said this in chat before. Only white chest today.
Yes, only white chest ever. That's all you get. That's all you deserve. Listen.
Coach?
Next one we have is
I work hard over here. I don't get to make all the decisions about what I give out and when. That's not up to me. That's up to people who are smarter and know math and get paid more than I do. And that's fine.
the next one we have is from SC Jenkins. It says thoughts on Ganesha mirror matches. Trust me on this one, just ask it.
Jithens, oh my god. Jithens just crashed this podcast for you guys. I hope you realize. I don't know if you know who Jithens is. Jithens he's the guy behind Smite Prime. Smite Prime is the largest community tournament organizer for Smite in our community right now.
I
This
see
dude,
him active
he's
on
like,
Mixer a lot.
yeah, he started streaming first on
yeah.
Mixer, which is amazing because I love to troll him. But Jithens, he streams on Mixer a lot. He does all of our stuff for Smite Prime, and he runs like a lot of tournaments every week. Like, he sends me a list of all the tournaments that he runs every week, and it's insane. Like, this dude's a full-time student, and he's still doing this, and I don't know how he has the time, because I don't have the time to do my actual job, and he somehow has the time to be doing all of this stuff. But Jithens is, he's one of my favorite community people. And, we get a kick out of trolling him. Like, our stream team Discord right now, everybody has changed their name to some variation of Jithens. Because we really enjoy trolling him. Like, currently, I'm the real Jithens, and he is Jithens, god of the odd number of gems. And then we have Jithens, Jithens 2.
All the damn time. How do you have an odd number of gems?
So when we pay Jithens out for community tournaments, the team member of ours who does all of the community tournament payments will always pay him out in an odd number of gems. Like, one more gem than he's supposed to get, just so that he never has an even number of gems. Like, it's impossible for him to ever have.
Okay, I actually have this problem right now. I have 267 gems. How the hell did I do this to myself?
That would drive me insane.
It does.
I don't understand how it's
drives
physically
me
possible.
bonkers.
You know how many times I'm 2 gems short of what I need? 2.
Oh my god.
2.
That happens to me and I work there.
There were so many times where I had 1 gem less than I needed to roll a chest or to get a skin that I wanted, and I couldn't get it because of that 1 gem. And I just get so angry.
So, to resolve the Jithens question, Jithens and I, back in the day, when I first started at High Res, I was a tournament admin, but I started out doing tournaments for Hand of the Gods. And Jithens was a fellow admin / professional lurker, who would hang out, watch the broadcast, help me admin, do all this stuff for Hand of the Gods. And we suffered through a lot of very long, very arduous Hand of the Gods tournaments. And these weren't just any matches either. It would always happen with the Ganesha mirror matches. So, I don't know how much you guys know about Hand of the Gods mechanics, but Ganesha, one of his mechanics is that he could raise these pillars that would basically grant him health and do all this other cool stuff. And so, feasibly, when you got into a Ganesha mirror match, what would invariably happen is that it would just become this standoff of who could raise the most pillars, take up the most mat space, and regenerate the fastest. So we'd be an hour and a half, 2 hours into this mirror match, and it's just a constant back and forth of, oh, I have 2 health. Oh, now I have 2 extra health. Oh, look at me. I have more health now. It was insane. And we would just sit there and be messaging each other in Discord, how is this happening? How is this still going on? Is this purgatory? Is this hell? Are we stuck here?
Didn't we see this half an hour ago? God damn it.
Please, God, just make it end. So, we commiserate about that quite often, because no matter how bad something is, it's never as bad as being stuck in a Ganesha mirror match in Hand of the Gods. And that's somehow comforting. That's quite comforting for us. So I see you, Jithens. I appreciate you. And I still blame you for everything. Hashtag blame Jithens.
All right. Next one we have is from Big FSI. He says, are you sure you're not Carrie Byron from Mythbusters with a disguise?
I'm very sure, and I'll tell you why. That girl is an incredible artist.
Yes,
I am not Carrie Byron, but I wish I had her sculpting talent, because I would be so much more interesting if I had just a modicum of her artistic talent. She's amazing. I love her. That's all I aspire to be. That's not what I am, but that is what I aspire to be.
My artistic talent stretches all the way to stick figures.
Yeah, right. That's mine.
Have you ever seen any of the behind-the-scenes stuff from Mythbusters where she's using the 3D modeling software with the stylus?
Yes.
It is nuts.
She's insane. I just like to watch her do what she does.
All right, the next one we have is from... Well, you've already answered this question. How is it possible that she is so calm in Mixer chat? All right, let's go on to the next one here.
I drink a lot of wine, you guys.
I'm looking at the question. It's codes.
Codes?
I know.
God bless this community. Don't ever change, you guys. Don't ever change.
Will there be codes given while listening? Yeah, that's right. She done answered that. You never know.
Everything I've said has been a code so far, chat. You enjoy doing that. You enjoy trying to redeem those. Have fun.
Did I miss a code? I really like Code Girl Auvey.
You did miss a code. There's one buried in this episode somewhere. Just keep rewinding. You'll find it.
The code is actually kill me now.
That is it for the community questions. Does any of the hosts have any questions?
I do, actually.
I definitely have one.
I definitely have questions.
All right. Go ahead, start off, Dan.
Okay. My first question is, I always hear this from streamers, and I don't 100% know exactly the possibility of it, but they are always talking about having high-res employees kind of stalking through Twitch chats and Mixer chats and, seeing bad, like, people trolling in games and ruining ranked games. Do you think there's ever going to be a point where there will be people designated to, basically lurking in streams and banning and or, reprimanding players that troll in all their ranked games?
Honestly, I don't think so. Like, I lurk a lot in chat, and I think I'm pretty much the only one who spends as much time in any Smite-themed chat as, as much as I do. But, I don't think that'll ever be a thing, not because it's not something that we need to do. Our streamers have, like, a lot of issues. And there are clearly people who are out there streaming who are not good representatives of the game, and they're, abusing the game and abusing their fellow teammates and all this other stuff. But I think our efforts towards targeting people like that are best spent elsewhere. I don't think that'll ever be a thing. I do think, though, that if somebody, like, shows up in your stream who's affiliated with Hi-Rez and you're being an asshole, there might be some ramifications because we want to keep our community nice and good and friendly and positive. So if you're sitting there and you're being toxic and being just generally terrible to the people around you, if something gets sent to support about your account, I wouldn't really be surprised. Because even when that's, not our job, and I don't think it'll ever be anybody's job, you see that stuff in the past and you're like, oh, well, I want to help make my community better. Maybe let me bring this to the attention of the people who are in charge of making the community better as far as, like, in-game punitive action goes.
Okay, cool. I was just, I just heard it from a lot of streamers, so I figured I'd give it a shout.
Sweet. So my question has to do with more, since you've got the Khepri tattoo there. Is it just Khepri, or are you like into Egyptian mythology?
I'm into mythology in general. Actually, when I was in college, the senior thesis that I wrote for the English department, I did this ebook adaptation of Beowulf, but I went back and I used historical text to sort of remove all the quote-unquote, like, Christian references that had been implemented into that particular oral history when it was written down. And I was really interested in exploring what that might have looked like before, like when it was still in its, pagan stages, when it was still an oral history that hadn't yet been, affected by, the Christian movement across the West. So that's what my college thesis was about, and I spent a lot of time, deconstructing, reconstructing what this myth looked like. So I've always been really, really into mythology. That's been a really big shtick for me, and that's why I got into Smite in the first place. But, Khepri, like, the Egyptian pantheon is one of the only ones that I felt like, genuinely interested in. Like, Greek, Roman, that's cool and all, like, you do you, but that's just not really my shtick. I've enjoyed the Egyptian pantheon. I enjoy the Norse pantheon specifically. I was so stoked when they finally announced the Celtic pantheon. Like, that was a really, really big deal for me. So it's not just Egyptian, but that is definitely one of my favorite ones. And among the Egyptians, Khepri is obviously he is my bae. He's my real dad. And, he's fantastic.
Yeah, I was when I was at HRX last year, and they're like, Oh, by the way, we're also doing and they announced the Slavic coming out. I was jumping over the chairs just because there's so many. As far as mythology is concerned, the Slavic pantheon, or the Slavic gods and mythological characters, are just some of the wackiest things out there.
Oh my god, I know.
What's the just Kashi the Deathless is throughout all of it, and he's just this crazy, unkillable, weird vampire thing. Baba Yaga flying around. I mean, just so many great characters that could really implement some fun abilities as far as like target designs. So metal.
I would love to see Baba Yaga, though. I would really, really love to see that.
That'd be great.
I need to see more gods that came from pimples. That's all I'm saying.
That came from what?
That came from pimples.
Got Kali.
Came from pimples. So yeah. Yes, the acne-born gods, the acne pantheon.
Yeah, there needs to be an acne pantheon.
The most honorable of births, you know.
Yeah, I don't think there's many more. I gotta think through them. Maybe if you get into like sub-Saharan Africa, I can't think of any others off the top of my head. But I'd have to look. There might be one.
That is your task. Find the pimple gods, Yuki.
Squeeze
them out. Pop every single one of them into the game.
Do you know how hard it is to find some of this stuff? It's not like you go to the bookstore.
Well, get researching.
All right. Well, hey, I think it is time to start wrapping things on up here as we are past the 2-hour mark. So
yeah,
let's go ahead and pass things around here so everybody can give shout outs on where to find them. Auvey, why don't you go ahead and start things off? How can people get a hold of you and so forth?
So you can find me on Twitter at Auvey. You can also search Skillshot Auvey or just DM the Smite Pro account. I also run that one and I lurk there all the time, but my DMs are open, so if anybody needs me for anything, Twitter is the best way to get in touch.
You can also say codes 3 times into the mirror in a dark bathroom. And she
I'll just appear. I'll literally just appear. I'll be mad, but I'll show up.
I got codes, but you better have wine.
Oh yeah, that's a fair trade. I'd give out some codes for some wine. It's okay.
All right. Hey, Dan, how about yourself?
You can find me on PS4 at DirtXNapXDan, and you can find me on PC at just DirtNapDan, and you can find me at the official Split Push Podcast Twitter at Split Push Podcast with no A because it was too long of a name. We are just too much for Twitter, so I had to shorten it up a little bit.
Too much to handle. Guy?
You can find me on Twitter at GSmitey. You can find me on PlayStation at GuyAJ78. You can find me on Xbox at GuyAllSmitey. And we have a Facebook page you can find us too, Split Push Podcast.
Yuki.
You can find me on the Twitterverse at YukiGaming22, on PlayStation 4 at RyuKodse_Yuki. If you don't know how to spell it, I'm sorry. Just message me. That came up recently. How do you spell this? That's a good question. And more importantly, you can also find me riding my brand new water jet at work at 700 inches per minute across the table.
Nice. Beagle Girl?
You can find me on Twitter at Beagle_Girl27, or you could hit me up on PlayStation at Beagle_Girl2780. Send me a message. Let me know.
All right. And before I go through my stuff, Guy, what is our community challenge for this upcoming week?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We have another guest coming up next week. He is the coach for Splice Gaming, Kabam.
Ooh, that's going to be an interesting one.
Let's get your questions in there for Kabam.
Yeah, we're
for real. Y'all should be paying attention to Splice. If you're not paying attention to Splice, you're missing out.
Yeah, I was really stoked to hear back that he was going to come on next week, so.
Yep, definitely excited about that one, so. And then last up, you got a good old Dirt Nap stat here, but before I give out my stuff, I do want to announce that you might now be listening to us on YouTube. So, got a YouTube channel started, and we will be posting the podcast on there for your listening pleasure as well. It may be a day behind the regular podcast coming out, but I'll work that timing out. It all depends. It takes a while to process that stuff. Not really a lot of work, just a lot of work for the computer to do and all that fun stuff. So otherwise, I'll have that pinned at the top of my Twitter, which I already did since I was thinking I need to do that. I've done it. It's done. It's there. You can check it out now. Hit that subscribe button when you're there. Click that little bell for notifications. All that fun stuff. Make sure you give us lots of thumbs up there while you're there too. It helps us out. And then you can find me here at dirt_naps_dad on Twitter and also on the PS4. And if you want to watch me be out of position, you can catch me streaming on Twitch periodically throughout the week. And just add an _PS4 to the end of my name there. Last off, if you need to find out how to spell Yuki's name, you can email us at community@splitpushpodcast.com and I'll tell you how. So, hey, when it comes to dirt naps, you got to give them before you take them. And when all else fails, what do?
Split push!